What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks, back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, key levels of support and resistance that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock could do. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, don't forget to hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel if you are new, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are. And I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into the video. First things first, if you like what I'm using here, I know a lot of you guys asked me about that. I'm using Webull. If you use my link in the description to sign up, we both get some free shares. So go ahead and do that if you'd like. But yeah, let's talk about Apple. So great green day for Apple, you guys. Finally, we've been waiting for this for so darn long. We were up $6.53 on the day, 5.39% for the day, so over a 5% green day for, again, a company like Apple, which is not very common. We are up another 82 cents after hours, well, 76, 78. It's gonna keep changing. So let's just talk about the 5% green day that we had. Which is absolutely amazing. So from the way of news, right, we don't have a crazy amount other than, you know, Apple's, this is the first day since March 2020 with the start of the coronavirus pandemic that they are able to open all their stores. So that's great news for us, although I don't necessarily consider that too big of a news because I think that, you know, Apple, you know, majority of the sales that they do are done via online and, you know, other third-party vendors as well, but still I think this is, you know, good news for the company overall. They're moving kind of towards, or we're all moving towards more reopening, and hopefully, you know, this serves as a good push for them in the near future. The other thing that we covered in yesterday's video was, you know, the kind of idea that, hey, Warren Buffett sold some of their shares, or Berkshire Hathaway rather, sold some of their shares in Apple. And I just want to reiterate, right, in yesterday's video that they actually sold, I mean, they went from, I think, having a 5.6% stake to having a 5.4% stake, right? Still a very, very big stake. So the key there is not to look at, hey, they sold some of their shares. Well, yeah, I mean, for liquidity purposes, if you take a look at the fact that Apple has had a massive run in the past year, maybe they want to diversify, right, and not have Apple be that crazy big percent of their portfolio, right? But the key fact is they're still holding on 5.4%, so they let go of only 0.2% of their stake. So with that being said, again, I want to describe the great day for Apple that it's had and how long we've waited for it. I mean, if we take a look at the NASDAQ, it was up nicely, right? It was up about 3% on the day, which is still great to see. We take a look at Dow Jones. Well, I said that like it's not massive. A 3% day is absolutely amazing to see. Let me rephrase that. Dow was up 600 points led by Apple and Boeing, if you follow Boeing as well. And then the S&P 500 was up another 2.5%, still kind of going up in the after hours. So absolutely great day for, you know, a lot of the large caps that I cover and even, you know, some of the other stocks that I cover on a daily basis. So now let's get right into, you know, how we traded throughout the course of the day. Then we'll do our, you know, future levels of support resistance, see where the stock could be headed in the near future. So right at the beginning, actually, let's go back to Friday. We were here in the 121s. I said, you know, hey, I think we should push through this and make a run towards the 126 level. Depending on how fast we get that, if we could get that in the first half of this week, I think we could push towards 128. Did not realize that would happen today, but I'm gonna take that, right? So right here we opened above this 123 level. We did the thing that Apple always does at the beginning where it goes, you know, one way and then quickly turns around, goes the other way. So it did that, went down to 122, broke in to the 123.69 level, went up and then took a little breather and like came down just a touch 123.69 one last time before just taking off from it, right? So, you know, came back, reloaded, and then just shot off. Kept going, you know, with little breaks along the way, went up, you know, came down, went up, came down, went up, came down, went up, came down, pushed all the way to 126.65. Take a look right there. Perfect rejection at our level, you guys, which is just great to see. I actually like seeing this kind of period of consolidation today. If it went up and the gap between VWAP and the where the stock is just kept widening, that worries me a little, right? So like that we got rejected here, took some time to consolidate. and then push through. And then here we were hanging out by the mid 127, mid to high 127s, 127.79 with a late push to end the day. So if you guys remember, that's the exact opposite from what we've seen. I think it was on Friday even, where we were up and then we just tanked into the close, right? Because ARK Invest sold their shares or something along those lines. We found out after. So seeing the exact opposite of that was really promising. Now we are making a push towards the 128.54, and as you can see, we went 15 cents above it, but now are coming down. So that's where we stand currently. Things I liked about today, you know, we stuck really nicely within our levels, right? So you take a look here, we got a bounce off of 123.69, which launched us towards the 126.60s. Perfect rejection. Took a little bit to consolidate, broke through, and then we hung out here, and then now we're getting rejected at the 128. So great movement by Apple, you guys. Absolutely killed it today. We've been waiting for this for a while. I know I have. I know a lot of you guys have as well. So it's a great day to be an Apple shareholder. So now let's get right into it. I think there's some key things that we need to cover. We need to talk about future levels of support, future levels of resistance. We need to talk about that 89 exponential moving average as well. So let's get right into that. So let's go right here. Excuse me. So with the price action today, we are above the 8 EMA and the 89 EMA. And I talked about the emphasis on the 89 EMA as well, but I'm going to cover that real quick again in this video. But let's talk about future levels of support, future levels of resistance, right? So we were right here, and I had talked about, hey, you know, I want to see a push towards the 123 level, and then the push towards 126, depending on how fast we do that. Want to see a push towards 128 this week. We got through a lot of those levels today, and so what do we have coming up from a level of support, level of resistance, and what do I think is going to happen? We are hitting up against this 120, or we did hit up against this 128.54 in the after hours, but what I'm going to focus on more is from where we ended today, because, you know, it is starting to come down, so I don't know by the time this video goes up where we'll be. So let's just pretend like we're still at the 127.70s, right? So from a level of support, let me get rid of this over here. From a level of support, we've got the 126.65. Remember that level that we initially got rejected from, and then came down and then pushed up? Well, now if we go down to it, that should hold up as really good resistance, really good support. I talk too fast and I make mistakes, and then you guys point it out. I appreciate you guys pointing it out. So support, first level of support, 126.60s, okay? Then we've got support down here in the 123.69, but if I bring in this 8 EMA and the 89 exponential moving average, right, we've got that coming in right at 126s, low 126s. So, right, so if we break through the mid 126s, we've got a level of support in the low 126s, and if not, we've got 123.69. On the upside, we've got this 128.54 level. If we can clear that, we've got the run room to 130.29, which puts us right at 130s, which I was hoping for this week. Where I was hoping for 128. I thought 128 was going to happen. I was hoping for 130, let's say like that, right? So what do I think is going to happen? One thing that I'll say is, look, markets look absolutely crazy strong today, but we are up 5% in a day, so we could see a little bit of a pullback, right? Not necessarily saying that we have to have our couple red days in a row, but we could see a little bit of a pullback. So what I see that could happen, that we've seen happen over the course of the day, is maybe we pull back just a little bit to this 126.65 level, and, you know, get that like beginning a day push down, and then we, you know, kind of gather energy to push towards the 128.54, and then depending on how 128.54 looks, maybe we make a run towards 130. Now that could happen over the next day, that could happen over the next 2 days. I'm just kind of describing what I see happen. We could definitely still continue up, and I'm hoping for 130 there after we clear 128.54, but realistically, with the way Apple does is it pulls back a little and then goes. Now it could pull back to this 126 level, 126.60s level, or it could pull back to the 8 EMA, which is about 30 cents more than that, which is 126.26, about 40 cents more then. So pull back, maybe bounce off here and then push up, hopefully breaking to 128s and then pushing towards 130. That's what I'm hoping for this week. Again, it could take a day, it could take 2 days. As always, I'll keep you guys posted. Remember that we are up 5% in a day, so could we pull back a little tomorrow? Yeah, and get ready for Wednesday. So not too bad there. The other thing I want to talk about, you guys, is this 89 exponential moving average, and right now we see both of those lines at the same place, but our key here is 89. Let's talk about that for a second, and we'll also talk about the 8. Why do I really like the fact that we are above the 89 exponential moving average? If I scroll back to the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, that was the last time we were below that level for a while. The other time we were below that for a while was this time back in in August 2019. We were below it for 3 days. Here we were below it for a lot longer in mid 2019, maybe like 2 weeks. So the fact, and then if we take a look at, between coronavirus beginning and now, we went down, didn't quite touch it. We were off by $1 here. We touched it, but closed above it here. We didn't touch it there. So when we break the 89 exponential moving average, that's a little bit scary because that's our last line of support between all the exponential moving averages that we look at. So pushing up really makes me happy because now we've got a pretty solid level of support at 126.06. If we go down and we dip below that, again, I think we close above that, assuming markets remain neutral or strong. If markets look weak, anything is off the table, right? So that's what I'm hoping for. The other thing is, and that's more of a long-term support for me, right? As we've always looked at, right? The 8 exponential moving average is what I'm looking at for in the immediate term, right? That's my first level of support, which is the 8 exponential moving average, which right now is at 126.26. So that also gives me a little bit of support. So if we dip below, again, 126.60s, we've got another level of support in the 126.26 with the 8 exponential moving average. And as the stock goes up, the 8 exponential moving average goes up with it. And that's our first immediate level of support. So again, hoping for a bounce there, but we'll see what happens. So as always, great start to a week, great start to a March. I hope March is a great month for us. If it's anything like today, it'll be a great month. So hope you guys all had an amazing start to your week. I personally am holding on to my Apple shares. I got a call out in July as well. I think a couple of you guys said you were in that same call with me. And then I picked up another couple calls today. Once we cleared the 122, let me get the lines back on for us. So once we cleared 123.69, we came down, bounced. That's when I got into some calls. I got into the 126 is expiring next week, and I got out of them throughout the course of the day. So I think I got out one at 30% and then another at 35%. I'm still holding one of them. I don't know how up I am. Let me just check. And at this point, I'm just gonna see if it goes further for me. I am up 38% on the last one. So sold one at 30, sold one at 35, and then up 38 on the last one. Holding just to see if I could get maybe a little bit more this week. With the amount that I've made on the first two, I could lose money on this and still be profitable on the overall trade. So holding on to it. It expires next week, so I'm gonna give it a couple days unless it just runs up tomorrow when I decide to lock in profits. So bounce off this level here is exactly when I got it. Exited one of them right here, exited the other one when it was starting to come down here, and then just holding the third one to see how it goes for us. But yeah, that's all I had for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to drop that like, subscribe to my channel, sign up for Webull using the link in the description below, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day, and until next time.